Okay, I'm at the dealership getting my car serviced, so I'm in the little waiting area. And not a fan of game shows, but they have Who Wants to Be a Millionaire on. And I guess the little guy that cleans, this must be his favorite show because he keeps coming back in here. This room is clean as can be, really. He's vacuuming the clean floor just so he can be in here. It's weird vlogging with people around. It's very strange. I never had my finger on the pulse of what was happening back in the day. Maybe movies, because I watched a lot of movies and I worked in a movie theater, so I was quite up on the movies. But in terms of music and whatnot, definitely not fashion. I still pretty much dress like I did when I was in high school, jeans and a t-shirt. I just, I didn't buy into the fads or all that. When I was, I guess, a senior in high school and freshman in college, the Madonna, Like a Virgin attire was all the rage. I hated that look. And then I guess as I got older, I don't know, because it never, I never really was a slave to the fashion or anything. It really wasn't an issue for me. But movies now, I'm like, oh, I do not want to see that movie. It looks stupid. Whereas back then, I watched every movie. I did have a friend of mine a couple years ago. More than a couple years ago. I worked in a university, and you're always around the young freshmen and the young kids, and I did notice that with every passing year, the kids got younger and younger. But it was great because I kind of was up on the lingo of the day and that sort of thing, and all that. But I had a coworker who was upset one day. We were in the hall talking, and she said something about how she bought a pair of jeans, and she was really mad because they looked really good on one of the students, but they didn't look good on her. And I just looked at her straight in the face and said, well, you're not 20 anymore. She really got offended by that. Although she wasn't 20, and B, somebody, there has to be people out there who will tell other people, no, you shouldn't do that, because then, you get these people that are in their 40s dressing like they're 18 or 20, and they look ridiculous, in my opinion. So, someone, and if not a loved one, we were friends, so someone needs to say something and put a stop to that. It's the way I feel about men in toupees. I can't believe that the wife, spouse, whatever, would look at their spouse in a toupee and say, looks great going out in the world, and, I don't know, maybe they just don't say anything. But in terms of, fashion and whatnot, I would like somebody to say something to me, and it might hurt my feelings or whatever, but I've had people say your hair's too short, that kind of thing, and that's fine. Whatever. I can choose to do something with it or not, and it's a little bit longer than usual. So, it's all good, right? Okay. They clean the shit out of this place. There's always cleaning. I gotta go. Only because I don't have anything else to say.